Hi, everyone. Okay, so tonight I'm going to talk about Kenora a little bit. Um, I know the whole idea of this channel is family systems in Manitoba, but part of the whole reason I'm in Kenora is because of what happened in Manitoba. So I'm going to talk about Kenora a little bit tonight and what exactly is going on. Um, so a couple days ago, I saw this post about, um, well, I also heard about it, um, but and I went online to see what was going on, and what I found out kind of horrified me. Apparently, there was some guy with a knife in downtown Kenora by one of the hotels that, um, well, it's classified as a hotel, but it's actually like um, people actually live in it. So, anyways, um, this guy was apparently had this blade, knife or some sort of blade, anyways, and the police took shots at him. Um, Now, keep in mind, one guy with one knife, multiple officers with guns, and apparently multiple officers fired their weapons. Um, And when I questioned, like, that seems pretty excessive. Why did multiple officers need to fire their firearms for one guy? And why did they take fatal shots as opposed to trying to, shoot him in the kneecap or the arm? And the officer that responded to me, and I'll show you the post tomorrow, it was very rude and I did take offense to it. He basically told me, how did he put it? He said, um, to stick with what I know. And so I kind of blasted him online and I'm like, okay, well, this is what I know. This is why I know it because it was posted about from, you know, on the media by the SIU unit or yeah, Special Investigative Unit partially. And the other part was um, what another source said. So between the two, yeah, I do know what's going on. Well, to a point. I mean, like, nobody can actually know unless they were there. But based on what was reported, um, I got a pretty good understanding. I mean, there were multiple officers fired their firearm, and a guy's dead as a result. Um, But what was more concerning than this guy's kind of like callous, rude brush off comment was the fact that he justified the kill shots. And I am saying shots, plural, because, like I said, multiple officers fired. And the the guy who responded to me, he indicated that if the officers are feeling threatened or if somebody has a knife, the officers are well within their mandate to take the kill shots. Now, there is so many people with um no, I'm not going to go there, but this guy probably had mental health issues if he's at that point where he's downtown waving a knife. And I'm not saying that the police were not justified in responding. I don't know, I wasn't there, and I really hope they had body cameras on so that a proper investigation can happen. But to me, it did seem excessive that multiple officers did fire their weapon. But the officer that responded to me indicated that they're well within their mandate to take 2 shots to the torso where there's, you know, organs, and a fatal shot can happen. And if that doesn't take the person down, then they can take shots at the head. And he goes on to say that it is not within their mandate to take um, wounding shots to the arms, to the legs. And I was like, this guy, he has a knife um, versus, a gun. And I thought, but I don't know if um, the guy was charging them or attacking them or whatever. But what I do know is that if he was close enough to another officer to attack, chances are those guns would not be going off because the guns would be so close, you'd worry about hitting another officer as the bullet went through the person, right? That is my thinking. I could be completely wrong with that, but that is my thinking, which means that this person probably was a little bit of a distance away, and the officers were in enough of an area that the bullet wouldn't have gone through the person and hit another officer. um, which then leads me to the question, why couldn't they take a shot to the legs or the arms? And like I said, because it's not within their mandate, apparently, according to this OPP officer or this person. And so as a result, this person who probably was suffering from some sort of mental illness um, now is deceased. And that is kind of heartbreaking because what happened to de-escalation, disarming, um, and getting people the help they need, um, whether it's counseling, whether it's, you know, detaining them and figuring out what the heck was going on with them, um, and showing them that, like, that's not okay behavior. I mean, there has to be some repercussions, but losing their life is a pretty extreme repercussion. Um, and it also is a question. Sorry, I'm saying this wrong. It's late. It also is concerning because if all an officer needs to justify killing somebody is they feel threatened, well, then we've got a lot of people, a lot of individuals out there, a lot of OPP officers out there that could pick somebody off and say, "Oh, well, I felt threatened. Um, Not a big deal. It was in my mandate to kill this person." To me, that's kind of scary. um, and especially considering the fact that we're right now living in a society in Canada that human rights apparently don't really mean anything. And now we've got these OPP officers running around with guns, um, shooting people dead with a potential mandate to allow them to do that. It's kind of scary. Anyways, that's what's going on in Kenora. And again, I wasn't there. I don't know all the I don't know everything that happened, but I do know that OPP officers do carry tasers, I think. They still do. And I do know there was um multiple officers there. And I do know this officer, his justification was it's not in their mandate to wound. And that is where I'm going to leave it for tonight. I'll let you guys do some thinking on this whole situation, and feel really badly for any family of that individual, and I also feel really badly for the officers who took that life, because they are going to have to live with that now. And um and again, like, I don't know what happened, if that guy was lunging at them or whatever. And realistically, if somebody was um attacking them or ready to attack, um I would hope that the OPV officers would do everything they could to keep themselves safe. So people shouldn't be too hard on them. Um, but it is that mandate is concerning, and I don't think that people should um, disregard human life so callously and easily. That that to me was really upsetting. Anyways, you guys have a good night.